Why
What
should the
are Quad's
university
next
be
steps?
obligated to provide food to people who've taken over a building?
Well, first of all, we're saying that they're obligated to provide food to students who pay for a meal plan here.
But you mentioned that there was a request that food and water be brought in, unless I misunderstood.
To allow it to be brought in. I mean, well, I guess it's ultimately a question of what kind of community and obligation Columbia feels it has to its students. Do you want students to die of dehydration and starvation or get severely ill, even if they disagree with you? If the answer is no, then you should allow basic, I mean, it's crazy to say because we're on an Ivy League campus, but this is like basic humanitarian aid we're asking for. Like, could people please have a glass of water?
But they did put themselves in that very deliberately in that situation and in that position. So it seems like you're sort of saying, we want to be revolutionaries, we want to take over this building. Now would you please bring us food and water?
Nobody's asking them to bring anything. We're asking them to not violently stop us from bringing in basic humanitarian aid.
They're stopping the delivery of food?
We are looking for a commitment from them that they will not stop it
but
violently.
They haven't stopped it yet.
I don't know to what extent it has been attempted, but we're looking for a commitment.
Happening moments ago at Columbia University. When you take over a building like these protesters are, you got to eat. So they're still getting food delivered to them. Look at this. It's a different way of delivering food out in New York City here at this time as the protesters now eating after taking over that hall at Columbia University.
One of those student protesters, spokesperson, came out about an hour ago and had this to say before the latest statement from Columbia. Listen.
We're not in negotiations right now, but students are open to negotiating if the university makes a good faith effort to address our demands. It would again be incredibly short-sighted of the university to expel a huge number of its students, especially considering how much consensus this matter has on campus. I strongly believe that it would galvanize the rest of the campus community to help their peers as well.
Few of the demonstrators. Oh, right now you just saw, I'm going to step out of the way. There are things being launched at them. All it looks like to me is something that's emitting some kind of white gas, white smoke.
So the question here is this something that the protesters are launching to try to keep law enforcement away, or did law enforcement shoot a projectile with the smoke? Can you tell?
It looks to be law enforcement sending it. It looks to be law enforcement putting it in. We're going to kind of step back, though, as this comes towards us. It looks to be law enforcement sending it in.
We're looking at our shot from the ground, and you can see that where the protesters had assembled, they've left. And now they're running away, and you've got law enforcement, in some cases, chasing after the protesters. But the crowd of protesters, the pro-Palestinian protesters, has dispersed.